Hi there, my name is Dan, and welcome back to All One, the United Anatomy of Being. This is episode 22, called Reconciling Religion and the One. As demonstrated, the non-physical, unseen bottom half or inverted arc of the full model of existence is the opposite of the top arc or the separated, constantly changing physical existence. Meaning it is the non-physical, fully united, unchanging level of pure being. As it is fully united, it is simply one, or the pure consciousness of being. From that consciousness of being, with infinite potential and infinite potential energy, comes the awareness of union and its uniting energy, and the awareness of separation and its separating energy. The interaction of which is the energetic source that created the manifestation from the non-physical into the physical level of being, or the physical universe of which we are most conscious and aware. This description and explanation of the one can admittedly be a little difficult for the separating human mind to grasp, let alone accept. So let's describe it more simply in a context to which we are more traditionally accustomed. And I'll ask the question, what is God? And is God the one? Or is the one God? As a reminder, ancient humans found mystery in everything because they knew so little about the physical world. The mind of the human species was still so early in its development. So the ancient humans, and even more recent human societies whose mind levels were less developed than they are now, found God or gods in everything mysterious and unknown, and respected, worshipped, and connected to that mysterious unknown through feeling. It was not known what brought rain, so it must be the gods. It was not known what brought a good hunt or the possibility of bountiful food to gather, so it must be the gods. There was little to no knowledge about the moon, the sun, or the stars. They must be the gods. And for a long, long time, it wasn't even known what caused the female to be with child, so it must be the gods. But as the mind developed and humans learned more and more about the physical world through accidents, observations, contemplations, and the sharing of ideas, some unknowns were no longer mysterious. Many mysteries then became understood with a rational explanation as knowledge was gained. Over the course of tens of thousands of years, in varying times, in varying geographies, and in varying cultures, the concept of God changed, or rather moved. And over the last few thousand years, in varying geographies and in varying cultures, the concept of God moved from the many gods of the moon, the sun, the rain, the sea, the wind, the harvest, reproduction, and the innumerable animal representations to a recognition of only one God, or monotheism. This was most widely recognized by the mystics of three of the few major world religions: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Since then, perhaps unfortunately, there were too few mystics in these religious systems, backfilled with leaders that did not fully understand the truth of the one, and therefore the truth became distorted with teachings dogmatically dictated and used to control the human masses, as devotees were asked to, or convinced to, simply believe what was preached without guidance toward the ability to better understand the truth themselves, or without guidance toward directly experiencing the non-physical one themselves. Hinduism is another major world religion, but is polytheistic. It is also a religion where there have been many more active mystics roaming the land, both historically and even currently, who study other antecedent mystics and practice connection to the one. In this belief system, Brahma is the name given to the creator or the fundamental source of everything, or the beginning. Shiva or Kali are names given to the dissolution or the return from the physical journey back to the non-physical source, or the end. And there are various names given to describe the uncertain journey in between, or the energies that allow the physical existence from the non-physical existence. These gods of the journey in between in Hinduism include Vishnu, Krishna, Rama, and numerous other incarnations. It is often said in India that Brahma is the generator, Shiva is the destroyer, and Vishnu, or any of the various incarnations, is the operator, or G-O-D. But the Hindu mystics also recognize that everything in physical existence must have come from the same source, and therefore everything in physical existence is ultimately the same thing, or the one. The one is everything. Therefore, instead of separating everything in physical existence from this divine one and worshiping it only as done in monotheistic religions, they saw the divine one in everything. Therefore, in India, for example, one will see temples devoted to and devotees of rats, monkeys, cows, flowers, knowledge, music, destruction, the sun, the moon, fire, water, etc., etc. And it's often said in India that there are 33 million gods in Hinduism. Everything is God, God is in everything, and everything is one. There is another reason Hinduism is polytheistic. Somewhere in the development of this belief system, it was recognized how difficult it is for the differentiating and dualistic human mind to grasp the singularity of the non-physical one. Therefore, the concepts of Ishvara, or God form, or the Ishtadeva, masculine God form, or Ishtadevata, the feminine God form, were adopted, which is the worship of a personal deity or God form. What this means is that instead of trying to comprehend and worship the completely united, infinite one, which is indescribable and undepictable, and thus the most intangible concept in existence, one could worship something or some version of the one that could be described, depicted, and better comprehended. Thus, the 33 million gods. Buddhism is another major religious system, although the word here is, I'll quote the word religious because it's not technically a religion at all. It is, however, a belief system. Buddhism is more of a practice to recognize and connect to the one, just as the Buddha did. Theoretically, there is no worship of anything in Buddhism, even though one can find innumerable statues of the Buddha or temples in Buddhist cultures, or that the name of Buddha may be chanted by Buddhist practitioners. But this is intended to be much more of a reminder than a worship. It is a reminder that the way of the Buddha is a proven method or practice to recognize and connect to the one, gain consciousness of the one, and thus, well, when you gain consciousness that you are the one, you thus become the one, which is extremely powerful and not unique to Buddhism. It's just unique really to the practice of a direct personal experience to the united source of everything. A problem, however, with religion, apart from its historical distortion over time as a result of teaching or preaching by non-mystics who have not fully reconnected to the one through deep practice, and therefore maybe don't fully understand the truth of existence and who we really are, and apart from the power and wealth that has been gained over time by religious institutions through attempts to control human behavior, is that the common human being is asked to taught or believe a metaphor of the truth as the actual truth. In some cases, they are asked or taught to believe a metaphor of the distorted truth as truth. And what is missing in the instruction is that it is possible for any human to experience and recognize the truth directly for themselves. And then also the actual teachings of how to recognize and experience this truth for themselves. All the true mystics within every religion, or even outside of any religion, have essentially and ultimately come to the same place or the same conclusion. They discover the same truth because the truth is the truth. It is all the same because the ultimate reality, or the top of any mobile, or the pure state of being, or the pure consciousness of being is only one. The one is as far or near as anyone can go toward an understanding of the truth of our existence and the existence of the entire universe. It does not matter what word is used to describe the one, be it God, Jesus, Brahma, Krishna, Allah, or even Apple. It is all the same. So then, what are we? We are ultimately the one. We are exactly what humans have always referred to as God. Our soul level is simply pure being and consciousness of it, filled with infinite potential energy. We are also the manifestation of uniting energy with the feeling center to perceive and direct it, and the manifestation of separating energy with a mind to perceive and direct it. And we are a physical manifestation with a body to act on and perceive the physical level. But all of that is impermanent. It is moving and changing. On our highest level, we are ultimately the unchanging, permanent, non-physical, spiritual one. And at that level, we are all exactly the same thing. Humans have become separated from our highest level of being. We have separated our physical self or our physical level from the other levels on which we also simultaneously exist. When we connect back to the one that we truly are, or relate ourselves to the spirit or soul more so than the separated physical level, or the separating energy mind level, or even the uniting energy feeling level, we actually become the everlasting life that so many religions have promised. When we gain consciousness of the non-physical, unchanging, spiritual one that we truly are, we gain consciousness of the permanent portion of our being. And then we again become one with the peacefulness and bliss of the pure consciousness of being with this infinite potential. We are all one. We are all God. Everything that exists is God. But over time, we have forgotten. Over time, we have focused all awareness on this physical existence, and I'm speaking generally, of course, this does not apply to everyone. But we have focused all awareness on this physical existence and its dominantly associated and separating mind level. And we have separated our physical selves from our spiritual selves. And there is a trick to being God. Because we have forgotten and fully separated, one must reconnect and regain awareness of the unity of being and the one in order to be it. Only then can the unknown and mysterious magic of living really occur or reoccur. Let's take a brief moment to mention a hesitation of the word, or of using the word God, due to the immense preconceived notions for almost any listener, or really almost any human, really. Almost every human on the planet is familiar with this word and concept. Many humans very much believe in this word and this concept, and for various reasons, from scientific conviction to understandable cynicism, many other humans very much doubt or disbelieve this word and concept, at least as it is traditionally understood. Therefore, the word, when I use this word, I'm always intending to use it with a lowercase letters, a lowercase g. But regardless of one's belief or disbelief, it is important to reference because it's a major context by which humans have attempted to comprehend and reconcile the unknown for thousands of years. So yes, this is God, this graphic, as the word has been used for thousands of years. God is the non-physical, unchanging source of all that exists. God is our highest level of simple and pure being, and the pure consciousness of that being, and we are God. But it and we are also not just the source separated from the rest of what exists. It, we, and everything are also this. It is everything. We are everything. It is the whole. We are the whole. There is no separation on our highest level. It is the one. We are the one. And it is thus much better depicted, if at all, as only one thing, or this. In the final episode of this part called The Body, the Soul, and the Whole, it's actually called The Physical End, and since we talked so much about the Big Bang and the entire universe, we're going to just cover a few possibilities of the end of this universe. So thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.